Good evening and welcome to Conversation with Grandma Polly. We are here tonight. We have some very special guests. We're going to recap our tour of Georgetown, South Carolina last week. And I want you to put a pin right there and we'll be right back. Hello, hello, hello. I want to thank you all for joining us this evening. We have a special group of guests here that was with us last week in Georgetown, South Carolina. Some of them helped organize, some performed, and some welcomed us with open arms. We're going to start by introducing our first guest, Ms. Tamika Singleton of Motherly Music Movement.
All right.
Hey everybody, can you hear me okay?
Y- yes. Tamika, tell
Okay,
us who you are and what do you do?
okay. Well, my name is Tamika Singleton. Um, I'm an edutainment artist. Um, my stage name is Monica, and I'm a part of Motherly Music Movement. And the Big Rig Kids theme song is one of my babies, one of my creations.
Thank you, Tamika, for joining us this evening. And you was with us last week. We're going to talk a little bit more about that later, but let's keep it moving by introducing our guests. Next, I see Miss Jamisha. Y'all, let's welcome Miss Jamisha. Let me stop right here. Whoever is in the car, we may have to get you off because we're getting a lot of feedback. There's a real lot of feedback.
Okay. There,
Miss,
I think you muted
there it
himself.
goes. Okay. Miss Jamisha, we thank you for welcoming us. We're here to welcome you, and we thank you for being such a great part of our tour last week. Will you tell us a little of yourself and who you are?
Hey, hello. I'm Jeshima Armstrong, and I'm from Georgetown, South Carolina. I am one of the parents of one of the kids, Mason Trappier. He was Caden of South Carolina for the Big Red Kids, and we appreciate you having us on tonight. Thank you.
And y'all, let's welcome Miss Jamisha. And we're not gonna show no special treatment here, but I'm gonna go out on a limb a little bit. Miss Johanna Verna. Woo! Honey, you are a force to be reckoned with. Could you please tell us who you are and a little bit about yourself?
Hello, everybody. My name is Johanna Werner, and I am an instructional coach at Plantersville Elementary School. I work with the teachers in kindergarten through fifth grade, and I love, love, love what I do. And I was blessed to have been given the opportunity to have Miss Renee Brown and the Big Rig Kids come to our school, and it was a phenomenal day, and we're still reeling from that day. So it was just awesome.
Miss Verna, we thank you for such kind words. And we're gonna have a little discussion about that later, but right now, our next focus is on Miss Janine Britton. Janine, we could not have done this without you. We're gonna go
Oh,
into that part, but I want you to tell the people who you are and a little bit about yourself, please.
Hello, everybody. My name is Janine Britton. I am from Georgetown, South Carolina. I am a mother, a grandmother. I am the owner of Jew by J Accessories, and I am also the owner of a nonprofit organization called Ark of Refuge, a safe haven for kids, and I am also a motivational speaker. It was a pleasure being a part of the Big Rig Kids on last week, and I'm still riding off of that high from last week.
All right, y'all, let's show Janine some love. And we have Mason here. Mason is actually one of our South Carolina big kids, and Mason is in the third grade. And I have to give Mason props because he has a drive that I haven't seen in a long time in a kid that age. Mason, will you tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are? Mason,
Mason.
can you hear me? Okay, y'all, let's give Mason some love because apparently he can't hear us. And we're going to jump back over here to Miss Alice. Miss Alice is another special young lady to me. I met Miss Alice on our North Carolina tour. And Alice was one of the vendors when we were in North Carolina. And Miss Alice has made a vow that wherever we travel to, she's going to be there and she's going to show up. So, Miss Alice, we're going to let you tell a little bit about who you are and some of the things that you do.
I can't hear. Something wrong with the sound, so I can't hear. I can't
We can
hear
hear
you.
you. Go ahead and
We can
speak.
hear you.
But if you can hear me, I'm Alice D. Roseberg from Unity and Heart Ministries from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Thank you.
All
All
right.
right, y'all, let's welcome all these wonderful guests that we have on here this evening. And you know what? I'm going to turn it over to my brother Kenny because Kenny is going to run the show tonight. He's going to do the interviews. Y'all, let's welcome my brother, my producer, Mr. Kenneth J. Thompson.
Okay. You're gonna do that. All right, all right. All right.
Yeah.
Lovely people. I just wanna give it up for my sister for doing some her amazing vision and incorporating people like yourselves to share in that vision and make things manifest, for lack of better words. But it was a wonderful thing to be a part of as well. I've been help doing behind the scenes things for it with the camera for some time now, and it's been fun for me. And I just want to thank you all for taking part in this venture and coming out supporting her and showing her love and all of the above. And also, got to give a shout out to Miss Felicia, who's just, I call her Spartacus, because she's spearheading and leading us. Give it up for Felicia! Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yes.
And before we get started, Kenny, do you want to put those thank yous out there that
Yes.
we put together?
Yes.
Please do, and we will be right back.
The Big Rig Kids organization would like to thank everyone who assisted in the planning and ultimate success of the Georgetown, South Carolina leg of the BRK National Books, Arts, and Education Tour, and the Georgetown Unity in the Community celebration. There are so many to thank for their important roles, but we would like to first acknowledge our entire planning team of friends, family, and colleagues who meet weekly to review logistics and continue the national tour planning efforts. We thank every school that welcomed the BRK with open arms, including Miss Verna, Principal Stanley, their amazing staff and students from Plantersville Elementary, Principal Grant, Dr. Gethers, and their awesome staff and students from Browns Ferry Elementary, Principal Kamalitha Pyatt, Janelle Lennon, and their magnificent staff and students at Mingo Creek Academy. Such an incredible experience that included informative panel discussions around bullying and anxiety, as well as fun-filled programming around the Big Rig Kids book themes with the magnificent Mommy Mika of the Motherly Music Movement, who brought the educational music dance party to each location in its magical form. Finally, the amazing week culminated on Saturday at Howard Gym and Auditorium to bring the community together to support authors, artists, business owners, and of course the amazing youth panel of the Big Rig Kids, the adult panel of local and surrounding area Black men who inspired conversation and resolutions in dialogue with the youth, parents, educators, community, and school leaders within the Georgetown community. Thank you to our amazing youth panelists and their parents, including the astounding Sade Robinson for sharing her impeccable experience and expertise, the adult panelists, supporters, followers, old friends and new, family, and others who believe in the BRK mission. Thank you for the hospitality to every Black Georgetown business that we supported during our stay, and thank you to each of you, and you know who you are, who took off work, volunteered, vended, referred a friend, and those that were kind enough to donate towards a meal, a tour night stay, refreshments, and more. And of course, to my little brother, Kenneth Thompson of KJ Multimedia Solutions, and my husband, Cupid Brown, for your tireless efforts towards the cause. Your generosity will never go unnoticed. In sincere appreciation and gratitude, the Big Rig Kids Organization.
Whew, what can I say? Last week was a week that I'm still recuperating from. I'm still trying to catch up on some well-needed rest, but it was awesome, and we just thank everybody. We ate real good, y'all. God, there was some good food down there. I felt like I put on another 10 pounds by the time I got back here, because that Southern soul food was good, and Miss Verna, I done found something else out about you, so when I come back, let me find out. Let me find out. You hear me? I ate so much when I was down there. When I saw that picture that you posted of all that good looking food, I was like, let me find out how we missed her. But we got you next time. So, Brother Kenny.
Go ahead, Renee. Take over. Go ahead.
No, I'm not taking over. You're doing this interview. Yes, buddy. Come on.
All right, let me start.
Questions. Let
me start with Tamika. Tamika, she be bringing the fire. Tamika, what I want to know is this energy level that you got, man. You bring the excitement to the kids. You bring the love, the joy, the passion. Where's all that coming from? Where's all of that coming from?
Well, I got 5 on it. I got 5 children of my own. This is one of them right here, Livy, and he was there for a good part of the entire Saturday event. And my I have a 4-year wise and a 2-year wise son that were at 2 of the other days at Plantersville Elementary School, where Sierra attends. And Jico, he was with me every day except for Saturday. And I have to have that energy, because if I don't, I'm in trouble.
I got you. Well, what you brought was pure excitement, pure love, and we truly, truly appreciate all of that. Truly appreciate it. I enjoy watching you dance.
It was an amazing event, an amazing experience. These ones, if you can hear them in the background, they're still buzzing from that whole week of activity with the Big Rig Kids and Grandma Polly and Sapphire. They were on 10 the entire week, so I had no choice but to match that.
Awesomeness. Renee, your turn.
Oh, yes, it was. Well, Tamika is, I guess, kind of like me. She's modest in the things that she do. What Tamika did not tell y'all, if you guys are hearing this for the first time, Tamika wrote the theme song for the Big Rig Kids, and we're working on doing a remix. And how I discovered Tamika. Tamika and I are actually cousins, but I had never met Tamika until about 6 years ago. And someone posted a video online with her and her children on stage dancing and singing their songs. And I was like, hey, I have to meet her. And this girl is so talented that when we connected with each other, I gave her the gist of the Big Rig Kids, which is the first book, had just came out. Tamika wrote that sound in 2 days and had it produced within 30 days.
Wow.
She's
That's
very
awesome.
talented when it comes down to music.
Awesome.
Well, Kenny, she's doing the one for Conversation with Grandma Polly, and she wrote it like within 5 days. We just haven't produced it yet, but the girl is talented. She has a way with wordplay,
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
and
Definitely.
she's a genius at it. So, Tamika, I'm gonna tip my hat to you because that's the part you don't want to tell people, but that's very important. Don't downplay your talent. Take it, use it, build on it, and let it feed you. Now
Right.
we're going to Jamisha.
Thank you.
Miss
Jamisha.
Jamisha, I met Miss Jamisha through her little hacker. And Mason, that gonna always be your name for me.
Where did
I don't know.
Mason?
I still don't know how Mason got into that, but he was in there and he made it work in his favor. So, Miss Jamisha, tell us a little bit about yourself, and your experience on what you had with the Big Rig Kids.
All right, so like I said, I'm Jashima, and I'm from Georgetown, South Carolina, and I'm the mother of Mason Trappier. Um, Everything was all new to me, and I really enjoy being with you all. The little days that I was with y'all, this is a new experience for Mason. He really enjoyed himself, and honestly, he got a book offer from this deal from Big Red Kids,
Wow.
Okay.
and I really do appreciate y'all giving him, the trust and the light. Thank y'all. Thank you, Miss Felicia. Thank you, Miss Renee, for dealing with my boy all last week. Mwah. Love y'all. Thank y'all.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. No, we're not going to let you go out like that. Tell me about this book offer that you're talking about with Mason.
So I got a phone call, matter of fact, Friday night after we left the beach. And the lady's like, Ms. Armstrong, I saw that Mason was a part of the Big Red Kids, and I want to, reach out to you more. I said, okay, I'll call you back whenever I get settled in. I forgot to call the lady back. I ran into her Monday at Walmart, and she's like, before I leave and go back on this airplane, I'm signing Mason to this book deal, but we can't really speak about it. But y'all are the first to know. Mason has a book deal coming up, and I thank y'all for the spotlight or everything that y'all helped us with so far.
Awesome.
Y'all,
Great.
I knew there was something special about this kid.
Wow.
I kept saying that because he had that drive. When we started speaking to Mason through that Zoom, oh, you ain't got to worry about Mason telling your secrets about that book thing because he still ain't tell us how he got into the Zoom, okay? That's his secret. He has not disclosed that to me. But just the drive that I saw, because he got in there and he just sat there, and we must have had about 4 or 5 other kids who were auditioning from all over the United States. And we let him sit there until the end. And Miss Felicia was like, I don't know who this kid is. This kid is not registered. I don't have his name. I don't have anything. And when we started speaking to him, we was like, okay, you're here to do an audition. He had none of our materials. Mason pulled out his own little book and started reading it, and we just sat there and let him read it with patience. And I knew it was something special about him then. And then on Saturday, When Mason stepped to that mic and was able to repeat a whole dialogue of what I have written, I'm like, this is a special kid. And I'm proud of him. Mason, whatever deal you got, I need half of it. But we'll talk
he's
about that later.
he's with his father right now, so I'm not really sure what's going on with them over there.
There,
But thank
yeah,
They'll be
you.
okay. They'll be all
please.
right. But just let Mason know. Oh, we won't have. Just give me a tenth of it. But we'll talk about that. We'll
Yes,
work out the
ma'am.
paperwork and all that stuff. Now, Miss Verna, Johanna Verner, I
Ma'am.
feel like I made a friend, a new friend. I have many associates, but I give very few people that title friend.
I'm honored.
And just your open arms, your welcomeness, your supportiveness. It was like my grandma would say, that meeting of the spirits. And honey, you gave all of that. So now I'm gonna shut up and let me tell you about your week. Tell me some more about you and your week last week.
Oh, it was amazing. It really, really was amazing. When we first had our first Zoom call, I said to Dr. Gathers, I said, I don't know who these people are. I said, I don't know how I got involved with this. I said, but oh my God, the message that they're bringing for the children, I said, our kids need to hear it. Um, so it was just like, you were hyping us up before it was time for you to come, and all the emails were coming and this was going on, and I was like, okay, when this comes, I said, y'all, we got to be ready. And when you guys arrived, it was like when you were walking down the hallway, it was like, okay, wait a minute, we got to hug, we got to take picture. But then when we had the actual program for the children, that's when, I mean, from setup to end, it was just amazing. The children responded so favorably. They were excited. They learned. They expressed themselves. And I think, both sessions were my favorite. But that last session where you really talked about bullying with the children, it was eye opening. And I think from that session, I bonded differently with those children. Our relationship has completely changed, from just being one of the people at the school to Ms. Verna, I need to come and sit and talk to you. And that means a lot to me because they feel like they have somebody they can talk to as well. Not sharing any secrets, but they know somebody is listening. I think from that second session, they were able to hear that their voices were heard and that if something is bothering them, they need to talk. And it just, from the music was just, oh Lord, I think we danced. I don't dance, but Lord knows, y'all had me out there moving. I mean, it was just amazing, from reading to the children to talking with the children, the panel, or where they did the little skit. It was just amazing. Just seeing the talent of our kids come out was amazing is all I can say. I mean, it was just amazing. It was really amazing.
Now, see, Miss Verna, I'm a crybaby. So don't make me cry, okay? Because when I receive the type of response that you gave, it lets me know that I'm working in my purpose.
Yes, you are.
Because it's not about me, it's about who's working through me.
Amen to that.
And,
Amen.
and I get it. With the younger kids, I never go as deep with the younger kids because we can read, we gonna do the story time, and we gonna talk a little bit. But when it comes down to our older children, this is what we need
Mhm.
because a lot of these kids, when they go home, they have no one that they can talk to. These kids go to school, and I'm gonna just keep it real because I was in school as a child too. You have teachers and principals and everybody else in those schools who favor certain children, so some of these other kids get shoved to the side because they may have a behavioral problem. Instead of getting down to the cause of what's causing this problem, we want to label them. We want to kick them out of school. We don't want to be bothered with them.
Right.
We, as adults, bully them
Mhm.
because adults can be bullies too.
Mhm. Mhm.
And to hear that's what you got out of what we came with, that's just validation.
There we go.
That's the purpose for me. And let me tell you, when we got there, we had never met each other.
Never. No.
But my girl was ready. She said, "All right now, we." She was ready, and I mean the experience there was just so great. And the other part that warmed my heart, your school nurse,
Oh, yes. Nurse Lisa.
when you see Nurse Lisa, you tell her I have a twin because she was dressed just like Grandma Polly.
Yes.
Cowboy hat, plaid shirt, boots. She was on it. And I got more joy out of being there than you guys bringing me there.
Oh, wow. Wow. Wow.
It was just joy for me. And Kenny, I'm gonna let you jump in because I'm getting teary eyed now. I can't do it.
Oh
But it was
my.
just, I'm a
Wow.
crybaby.
It's special.
I pray blessings over everything that you have to do. Every
Ooh.
school that you go to, every meeting that you have, I pray that God opens up opportunities for you to just go forth and do whatever He has called you to do because it's needed. It is
Mhm.
so needed in this time. There's so much going on in the world, and our children are suffering. Mommies and daddies are having hard times. And, an assembly of our size was perfect. But just the fact that kids can come together in a safe space and just be real meant the world. I wish I had that when I was a little kid. So I just pray God blesses everything that you touch.
Whew. All right, go ahead, Kenny.
Well, I just want to see you. I gotta
You make
look
me
at you,
sick.
sis.
Mm-mm.
Nothing to say. That's
Mm-mm.
touching, right? You know your purpose is purpose in what you're doing, and that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna go ahead to Miss Janine. How are you today, Miss Janine?
I am good. How are you?
I am fantabulous.
Good.
So honored to have you on the show as well as join and hook up with the Big Rig Kids. My sister's a little misty right now. I would say she's having a tsunami over there. What do y'all think?
Mhm.
You make me sick.
Yeah. See, just washing away everything. It's good.
Yep.
It's good. Purge. Get that purge. Go
Mhm.
get it. Let them tears roll, girl. Come out. Come out. But Miss Janine, you want to give us about your experience coming to the BRK tour and some of the highlights for you, if there were any, and what it is that you do, as well as all of purpose and love and joy that you bring to the kids in the world today too.
I enjoyed the entire week. I traveled with them when they went to some of the schools. There was one day I didn't go because I was sick, and I told them I was not going because I had to be there Saturday. So I made sure I stayed home so I could get this thing under control. But it was such a pleasure being with them this entire week. We laughed. It was just just enjoying them and being with them at the schools and just to hear the interaction between the kids. And I just loved all of it because anytime when it got anything to do with kids or coming together, I'm all for it. I
Yes.
am all for it because I love kids. That you can always tell what your purpose is in life because anything that's a passion to you, anything that you love doing, that's your purpose. A lot of people don't know what their purpose are. Their purpose could be something what somebody else is doing. Mine, I love kids. I love talking. I love motivating. So to be a part of them on this past week has been such an inspiration. And Renee, I want to say to you, hats off to you. Hats off to Miss Felicia. Sister Verna talked about everything your hand touched. I pray God's blessing that everything that you need as you travel, the resources, the finances, that you won't even have to reach out, that God will send the people for you. He always
Yes.
placed you with people at the table, with people that's going to bless you. So I know He's already done that because you've already started. Anything He brings to you, He's already blessed it. So you don't have to worry about anything. And I'm just so elated to be a part of it because it helped me to see things, the things that are going on in the world today, especially with the kids. Way back when you used to hear people talk about it takes a village to raise the kids. Well, now I'm asking, well, where's the village? Because the way how
Right.
things are now is like the village got lost. So, doing that and with all of us coming together, we are forced to be reckoned with. So I'm just glad to be a part of the Big Rig Kids on this past week.
I guess what you can say, you bringing village back.
Yes. Yes.
I gotta say
Definitely.
this about Janine. Janine was dedicated the whole time we were there and the whole time before we got there. We would call Janine up. Janine, can you go do so and so? Janine never said no. Call Janine up. Can you go do so and so? Well, I have to do this time in the morning. But after I'm done with that, I will go. Janine never said, I need gas money. Janine never said, how much y'all gonna pay me? Janine never said, what is in this for me? Janine just humbly did the things that was asked of her.
That's Janine.
And we appreciate it. When we're going to these different states, we have to have boots on the ground in those areas because we're not there to do all the things that need to be done beforehand. Janine did not drop the ball. Janine didn't say, oh, I forgot. Janine just got out there and Janine did. And P. Laura Richards, I'm going to shout out. She's not on here tonight. We were going to rent a hotel in Paulus Island because everything close to Georgetown had been rented out. P. Laura and Lisha was talking to Lisha because she was a vendor. She told us about an Airbnb that's in Dunbar. A lot of people don't know about that. We went on the Airbnb site. It was available from Monday to Thursday. So that meant we still would have to go to the beach on Friday because it was already booked for the weekend. When we got to that Airbnb, Leisha and Pilar was there to greet us. Miss Nat was so great. I'm gonna put it out there, Miss Nat. If I put out your business now, don't come and beat me later. Miss Nat was so great. She says everybody here knows you. Y'all cancel that room on the beach. I don't let people from my Airbnb stay in my house because they're random people. She says, but y'all could have the 2 bedrooms upstairs when these people come in Friday.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow.
So I don't care how bad things is, and I don't care what people are looking at, or I can't work with this person, or I cannot work with that person. We as a people need to put that crap on the side because there are still great people out there.
Mm-hmm.
And the week we were down there, oh, we met some good people. And the fellas fed us good. That panel that we had Saturday with the 6 black men, oh, they fed us good. And that was just during the week. Saturday, all that hot dog and pizza and stuff that y'all ate, those guys paid for that.
Wow.
So yeah, I have to put the shout outs out there because with all the foolishness that's going on in the world, that's just a few of them. There is some great people out there.
Mm-hmm.
And when we stop looking at negative and focus in our purpose, you won't even see the negativity that's going on around you because you're focused. And I'm gonna stop because I get to preaching and all of that. But we as a people need to come together. And I'm gonna turn it back over to you, Kenny, because I'll get to preaching and then we done been to church and Bible study and Sunday school and all. So I'm gonna let
All
you
that.
take it.
All right. I think we're getting ready to have someone call in, and they wanted to say a little something.
Oh, you ain't finna do what y'all did to me Saturday, right?
No,
Let them
no.
come through and Janine laughing. Janine, if something happened, you dirty, I'm gonna fire you. Go ahead, Kenny.
Okay. Yeah, the call somehow just got kicked out. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they'll call back. We'll see. I don't know what happened, but they
You
wanted.
like to surprise me, Kenny. Okay, go ahead. Don't
I'm
do
about,
what y'all did to me Saturday, please.
I'm about to give you another tsunami, girl.
I think he like to see me cry because I used to beat him up when he was little.
Yeah, I'm like Chris Rock, and she like Will Smith. Okay.
No,
When I was
that's the
little, but now that
old
I'm
me.
grown, no,
That was the
that was
old
when
me.
we were kids. But I guess it cut off again. Yes, the phone cut off again. But let me just say what I want to say. When you started this journey with the Big Rig Kids, and you told me you were writing a book, I was happy for you. I was telling you to go for it, do your thing, do Renee, do it, and to see that you've already come out on top with 4 books, is amazing. How those just came into fruition. But then you met Miss Felicia, and then it just took on a whole nother level of momentum. and when you told me about the tour, I was like, oh, I was, okay. But then when I went to the first February and March, and then when I saw how huge this one was in March, I was just like, wow. And then to hear everything I'm hearing today about the how things lined up for you, and it's I'm speechless. I'm speechless. And I've read some of the comments where people are saying, like, when God, your steps are ordered by the Lord, and the hospitality was through the roof, things like that. I'm just like, wow, because that is the village right there that you were looking for. And in every city, go ahead. I see you want to talk.
Yes. We're gonna come to you in a minute, Livingstone, but you skipped a part. You joined me in conversations with Grandma Polly. And I kept saying that I needed a manager, I need a manager, I need a manager, I need a manager. No, I'm just showing you how it all came together.
Yeah.
You kept telling me, nah, Renee, you're gonna find somebody else. And I've had several people who told me that. And when I look back at it now, I am glad they told me that because it was not supposed to be them.
Right.
It was supposed to be Miss Felicia.
Yeah. It really was.
And everything happens within its purpose. You know, remember I told you when I first started this, I said, through the battle, it took me 3 years to get it started because I didn't want to do it. But when I gave in, I did say, Lord, okay, I'll go ahead. But I'm going to need you to give me the people who I need and not the people who I want.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge difference than somebody you want. He's going to give you who you need.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you've been with me, you know, and all of that. But, I mean, everything is just lining up in its space. And I have to have the wisdom to understand that.
Definitely.
Was that a phone call, Kenny?
Yeah, it was it just cut off. I don't know.
Okay,
you guys
good.
heard that, right?
Livingstone, yeah. Livingstone. You were there with us on Saturday. Tell us what you thought about it.
Well, I mean, I really loved how it stretched in both directions to the young and the wiser ones. 'Cause, it was very engaging with it all. I love the message that they bring out and how real it is with the situations of today. And I really love how well grounded it was. We had the whole conversation with children bringing out their actual experiences of what they went through and everything. And I think that was a very powerful message. I really enjoyed it.
Mm.
And I enjoyed you because you sat on my panel and you was very vocal about your feelings. And this is the purpose of the Big Rig Kids. We have to give our children a voice in a safe environment.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's why we didn't go live.
Right. Even if there were a few people who started to record, we stopped them because we want that safe environment. You should be able to speak freely about what's going on with you. We are losing too many of our children in so many different directions.
Mhm.
So that's what we want to create is that safe environment. And all of it was just amazing to me. And that's all I can say. And Kenny like to make people cry. And I understand Janine got some ugly cry pictures of me. Janine, if they ever come out, I'm gonna sue you. You laugh. That was dirty. That was really dirty. And to bring those things up, so many people have asked me after receiving the proclamation for Georgetown County and the beautiful trophy hat that I received, they were like, how did that make you feel? To be honest with you guys, it's just a token to me. Not saying that I show disrespect towards it, but it does not make me somebody who I'm not. Who I am is I want to see children and families and the community come together and grow and Find some way to bring healing where there is strife.
Yeah. Mhm.
I appreciate it, but if I had not received it, the effects of last week still would not have been any different for me, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm at in life. Kenny, I'm gonna let you jump back in here. We got 10 minutes. I want my people on the panel to talk. Y'all go ahead and say what y'all got to say because I didn't talk too much. Any one of y'all go ahead. I'm done.
I think because you come in such a humble attitude with such a humble and submissive spirit that your message is so well received. So many times we have guest speakers or presenters that come to our schools and come in and they request certain things to snack on, and I mean, you guys didn't want anything. It was almost like I had to force you guys to take anything, a bottle of water, to eat lunch. But I know that it's your humble spirit, and the word says, the last shall be first and the first shall be last. And you take that low position, that lower seat. So when you do that, when you have that mindset, God always has a way of lifting you up. So I think it's just the beginning for you. Stay humble.
That was the other thing I said when I started this too. Regardless of which way this thing go and how it takes off, just help me to remain who I am, that humble
Mm,
person. And
mm.
that's before I even hit the first key on the keypad. And that's all I want is humbleness and to love on these babies and give them some kind of hope. Because not all hope is gone yet. We just got to bring it back.
Yeah, hope is well and alive.
It
Amen.
Yes,
is.
and I thank you
If
for
I
your
may
kind
share,
words.
um, Miss Renee, I this I'm still, I think, at a certain level processing everything that happened last week because it was amazing on so many levels. And coming back, I was out of the country, as some people may know, for the last 4 years. So I come back in December, and in my transitioning back stateside, Miss Renee was telling me how, I never stopped playing your music since you've been gone. And I was like thinking, oh, that's pretty cool. And I got this. You just wait till you get back. I got something going on, and you can be a part of it. Just get back here and see what's up. And she's like, you have no idea. And I really, really did not have any idea of how much more she had invested, how much more time she had put into her baby. They like kind of like my babies too, but they her babies, the Big Red Kids. This is something that came out of her mind and her heart, and that was given to her, and she has done service. She has done it justice, and I'm just so excited to see where it's going to go because it's going to go far, and I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
honored to be a part of it.
Thank you, Tamika, for your kind words. And I thank you for all that you do. And I'm just grateful.
Yeah,
I am just grateful. I'm just that little old girl
I
from
think
Oatland, South Carolina.
I think y'all got her a little speechless, little speechless right now. But it was
Yeah.
definitely a pleasure. I hate some of the people dropped. I think it's the connection had dropped out. I really had hoped to hear from Miss Alice, but we didn't get a chance to hear from her tonight. I think she was having audio or internet
Right.
challenges. But if you're out there, if you're watching Miss Alice, we love you and thinking about you and just sending you good vibes and trusting it'll work out and get back on the next show and we'll do it, finish up there.
one thing, Kenny, you see, Miss Felicia, parents and educators on the show, please give some advice to the families. How important it is to have these conversations about bullying and anxiety with your children. Um, that's everybody on the panel. We're asking each one of you, parents and educators, how important it is to have these conversations. Can how important is it to you, or do you really feel it's important to have these conversations with our children about bullying and anxieties? And I guess we'll start from Tamika and go on across the board.
Tamika.
Absolutely. It is very crucial that we have an open dialogue. And I've been, rocking with the Big Rig Kids since they started, and all of those books have played a key part in getting the conversation started with my children about different things that they experience, making sure they know that they have an ear open to them, and it's been phenomenal for them to grow with these books and really connect with the characters and see how the things that they experience, it's not just foreign, to everybody else. It's just them going through it. Other people go through it as well. So getting the conversation started with these books is a real thing. It's happening, and I'm looking forward to the other books that's coming out because my children, especially Livy, all of them are avid readers, but Livy go hard in the paint on the reading, and he
Yeah.
read the last couple of books like in record time. I think both of them in less than 2 days, wasn't it? And do you have anything to say about
Yeah, that's where I was going next. I was going to ask Livy how he feels about Livy. I want to know how you feel about it.
Okay, well, I mean, I love the books, how engaging they were, and how it stretched across the diversity that children go through and whatnot, and of all different, categories and everything. I love how vast it is. I love how it goes into great detail of each thing and how it brings out a connection between the reader and the book itself because it touches them with every single detail of how people can see how it relates to them themselves and how they know they have people they can trust to help them with their situations that they go through in life. Like Sapphire, she has a great ear in how she listens and gives knowledge to everyone of how to deal with their situations.
Wow.
Ooh, so you're gonna make me cry again. But anywho, that was great hearing that coming from you.
A young man. Yes.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
you can tell me how
All right, Miss Shima. I always want to call you Jamaica. I'm sorry. I gave
You're
you a new
fine.
name, but you're just Shima.
No, ma'am, you're fine. So to the parents, to myself, we have to take like more responsibility with our kids. I'm a parent of a child that's getting bullied in school. Your kids come home each and every day with different stories and different scenarios. We have to learn to start listening. We can't push anything under the rug. You have to look at the different signs of the kids that's being bullied. My child, she used to come home cry all the time, like, why are you crying? She wouldn't never tell me. But then I got to the bottom of it and I handle it. Now she's in the fifth grade, and yes, she's still getting bullied a little bit, but we are working on it. And like I said, we just have to look at the signs, different signs from these our kids, from other people kids. Some kids don't feel like they are not comfortable going to their mother or their father about bullies. So we have to be the safe place for everybody kids. Like someone says, it takes a village. We do need our village back because we are letting each and everybody come inside our village and taking over, telling us how to raise our kids. But we have to take our kids back in our communities.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And you just spoke so much truth. because a lot of these kids are being bullied, not just in school on campus whilst they're in the classroom. We have to bring
Right.
awareness to cyberbullying, physical bullying,
Yep.
emotional bullying. There are so many different levels and kinds of bullying. We as adults, even ourselves, have to make ourselves aware of what some of these things are. Because when we were growing up, it was called teasing, or it would be, oh, teasing went a little too far. But now we have children who are killing themselves because they have been bullied or they are being bullied.
Right.
And you made a great point, Jashima. Now we're going to move on to my new favorite friend.
Just kind of piggybacking a little bit, the one thing that I really think needs to come back is dinner at the dinner table, where children can sit and have conversations with their parents. I know
Mm-hmm.
parents' lives are busy, busier
Mm-hmm.
than probably have ever been in our day. But so many children are being raised by Roblox, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. I've never seen so many children having TikTok accounts or Facebook accounts, and they're learning so much from those things. And I think with dinner at the dinner table, we can talk about what happened at school. We can talk about, what's going on the basketball team, or what's going on just in your headspace. We have the sex conversation with our kids, or my nieces and my nephews. We have those conversations with them, but they need to have those conversations all the time. If we make it a point to bring our babies back to the dinner table and we eat together, pray together, get them back in church, allow the God factor to become the focus of their lives, I think a lot of things will change. Because yes, it does take a village, but without God, we can't have a village. And I think anything that we want our children to become, to do, to experience, if we take those children and put them in the hands of God, He'll supersede anything we desire for our children, and it'll be more than we ever imagine, because He'll do exceedingly abundantly above all we ask or think for our children, but we got to give them back to Him.
Girl, take your mouth off that. Because I totally agree with you. And Sanders Tisdale says, I agree, eating dinner at the table and taking interest in each other again, not what's on the phone. He loves that statement. But I will say this too. Now you said that you're probably gonna, rock the boat a little bit. Because in all those things that you said, it is very true. But then parents got to go back to being parents and stop being these kids' friends also.
Mhm.
Amen.
Uh-huh. Yes.
That's a big part
Yes.
of the deal.
Yes.
I'm your friend, and what was taken away from the village was, oh, you better not say nothing to my child. You better not look at what you. Is she talking to you? What he do? I ain't asking the child why he's being questioned or she's being questioned. You're questioning the person who's addressing what went wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you talking to my child? What did my child do? No,
Mm-hmm.
ask your child while they're being chastised. We have to get back to being parents and stop being these kids' friends. Yeah, I know for a fact I stayed in trouble. I got my butt beat all the time. When I look back at it now, I got one beating I should have never gotten. But the rest of them, I did those things. I did it. I ain't gonna lie about it. It didn't kill me. And they didn't beat me to where, I had broken bones or bleeding or whatever. But when it was time to get that little butt swat, you got that. And these are some of the things that are missing in our lives. I ain't telling nobody to go out there and beat their kids or stomp them down or whatever. But I'm saying you have to bring the discipline back.
Yep.
And it don't necessarily have to be physical, but there has to be some type of discipline.
Some type of repercussion.
You said repercussions, I call it consequences.
Touche.
We don't have consequences today. And Janine, you last but not least, because you that ride or die that's been with us. So I'm gonna let you come in here. And I know we don't went over a little bit, but this is good tonight. So we're
We
gonna let you
started
have it.
late, so
And I agree with everything that was said so far. And I actually was going to say that the parents, we got a lot of parents that are trying to be these kids' friends. And I was just talking in Bible church school a couple of weeks ago. I mean, at the church, parents should recognize the signs of their kids. If you don't recognize, pay attention to your kids, these kids, they show the signs every day. When your kids come home from school, we should be questioning them. How was their day? How did it go in school? If you start that when they get home from school, then you'll know what's going on in these kids' life. A lot of these kids, they're raising their self. A lot of these kids, their grandparents are raising them. And a lot of parents, they drop these kids off to certain things that's going on, but they actually need to be there themselves, because some of them still got a lot of parenting that they need to know. Some of them don't know how to be a mother to their child. Some of them don't know how to be a father to their child. You got some kids that's going through this, some going through that. So, and these parents, pay attention to your kids. The signs are there. Don't wait until something happened to be like, oh, I didn't know my child was this, I didn't know my child was that. If you see your kid doing something that they don't normally do, like in the room and always in the room and not being sociable, find out what's going on. It's a reason they're doing some of the things that they're doing. I always used to say, I'm gonna go and take the hinges off the door. Find out what these kids are doing, because the signs are there. It's just that now these parents, they are not paying attention, or they're not home, or they're just letting these kids do whatever they want to do. So yeah.
And with that being said, who said even if it's not at the table, my little family takes out time to have discussions. We even have family meetings. Anyone could call. Oh, anyone could call it. She allows her children to call family meetings when there is something going on. Tamika, I know you do that also. You have those family discussions, and those things.
Absolutely.
Yes, and those things are very important. But I just gotta say, I thank you all so much for joining us. Shout out Georgetown, South Carolina again. That was home, and the people who were there needed to be there, and the people who were involved, it was just awesome. And because I'm biased, I don't know if there's any other place that could outdo y'all, but we're gonna find out.
And we just
We're gonna find out because it was great. Go ahead, Kenny. You can take over.
no, I was just gonna thank our sponsors too, for KJ Multimedia Solutions, Simone Entertainment and Enterprises, as well as TNT Real Estate. We thank you guys for your support, for always and your patronage and helping us achieve what we need to achieve out there. And we would be remiss if we didn't thank our Facebook audience for chiming in and sharing the evening with us, as well as all the wonderful special guests that we had on today. We thank each and every one of you. Each and every one of you. Janine, Jashima, did I say that right? Okay, Jashima, Mommy Mika in the house, and Miss Verna. Thank you all so much. And we truly appreciate your love, your support, and your patronage.
And Kenny, tell
You're
Sanders I'm
welcome.
glad he couldn't get through. I know that's what you was doing.
See that? See.
Uh-huh.
You
It's
know
gonna
it's
make me cry
love, though.
again.
You already
I
know it's
know.
love. You know it.
But
You
I
know it.
do. I appreciate you guys. And if you have people who are working and they could not have watched this or they could not have seen it, you know what? we leave it up here. We leave it on Conversation with Grandma Polly. If you shared it, it's still out there. They can also go to Conversation with Grandma Polly, and it's on YouTube. We never take it down, so you could always go back and rewatch it, and you could always share it with friends and family. And we just appreciate y'all so much.
You forgot a soul.
And huh?
You forgot a soul.
So much. Oh, you know who I left out? I'm sorry. That's why I don't like to start calling names. But I have to thank Miss Ella Mae Reed. Miss Ella was the one that came into the kitchen and started serving all them hot dogs and pizza. There were some other people that were supposed to show up and, like a job they called out. Miss Ella stepped up to the plate, and Michelle Armstrong, what's Michelle's last name, Janine, now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, her too. And those other people that jumped in that kitchen along with her and Janine, let me tell you, y'all were a lifesaver. We appreciate y'all. That's what the village is about. You see something that's happening, you jump in and you give a hand to make it work. So we just appreciate everybody.
Awesome. Give him a hand of applause.
Oh, and Miss Felicia said to please, we have a BRK review thing on the Big Rig Kid organization page. If you guys would please go into that review area. If y'all was happy and satisfied with what y'all saw, go to that page and click on review. It will let you write a review. It's almost like a Google review. We would appreciate that.
Awesome.
I had all kinds of people calling me since I got back, but they won't go out and write the review. So if y'all could do that, please.
Gotcha.
We love y'all. And this is not the last time. Peace out. See y'all
Love
later.
you guys.
Thank
All right.
you.
Love you.
Grandma Polly and the Big Rig Kids would love to recognize and thank our sponsors for their generous support of the Big Rig Kids organization. Simone Enterprises and Entertainment Company, KJ Multimedia Solutions, and TNT, your special agents real estate team.